Scientific Advertising, written by Claude C. Hopkins. Chapter 5, Headlines. The difference between advertising and personal salesmanship lies legally in a personal contact. The salesman is there to demand attention. He cannot well be ignored. The advertisement can be ignored, but the salesman wastes much of his time on prospects whom he never can be hoped to interest. He cannot pick them out, but advertisement is read only by interested people who by their own valuation study what we have to say. The purpose of headline is to pick out people you can interest. You wish to tell to someone in a crowd. So the first thing you say is, "Hey there, Bill Jones," to get the right person attention. So it's an advertisement. What you have will interest certain people only, and for certain reasons. You care only those people, then create a headline which will help those people only. Perhaps an built headline or some cover content will attract many times as many, but the many constant are mostly impossible. Subjects for what you have to offer, and the people you are after may never realize that an ad refers to something they may want. Headlines on ads are like headlines on news items. Nobody reads a newspaper. One is interested in financial news, one in political, one in security, one in cooking, one in sports, etc. There are wall pages in any newspaper which we never scan at all. Yet other people many turn directly to those pages. Pick out what we wish to read by headlines, but we don't want those headlines misleading. The writing of headline is on the greatest journalistic arts. They either chronicle or river interested. Suppose a newspaper article stated that a certain woman was the most beautiful in the city. That article would be of the interest of the word woman and her friends, but neither she nor her friends would ever read its headlines was. Egyptian psychology. So, in advertising, is a commonly said that people do not read advertisement. That is silly, of course. We who spend millions in advertising and was and returns marvel at the readers we get. Again and again, we see 20% of the readers of a newspaper cut out a certain coupon. People do not read ads for assessment. They don't read ads with a glance stream to offer nothing interesting. A double pages on the women's dresses will not gain a glance from a man, not will a shaving cream or for a woman. Always bear those facts in mind. People are hurt. The average person wealth cultivating has too much to read. They speak their frauds and their matters which they pay to get. They are not getting to read our business talk unless you make it worth their while and let the handle show it. People will not be bored in planet. They may listen, particularly at the dinner table, the broadest and personalities. Life or still itself, but it's the point they suggest their own combinations, their own subjects. They want to be assumed or benefited. They only economy, beauty, labor saving, good things, eat and wear. There may be prouds which interest them more than anything else. It's a magazine, but they will never know it unless the headline or the picture tells them. Writer of this chapter spends for more the time on headlines than on writing. He often spends hours on a single headline. Often scores the headlines are discarded before the right is selected. For the entire return from it depends on acting the right spot of the readers. The best of salesmanship has no chance whatever are useless. We got a hiring. The vast difference is headline is shown by keyword returns, which is this book or advocates. The identical ad run with various headlines depends tremendously in its returns. It's not uncommon for a chance in headlines to multiply returns from 5 to 10 times over. So we compare headlines until we know what sport or appeal pays best. That differs in every line of course. The writer has before him keyword readers on nearly 2,000 headlines used and single product. The story of this ad is nearly identical, but the returns vary enormously due to the headlines with every keyword written in our record appears the headlines that we used. Thus we learn what type of headlines has the most widespread appeal. The product has many users. It's a fosters beauty. It proves the decide. It aside the determinateness and claimness. We learn to expressions of waste quality the most of our readers say. Does this does not mean we neglect the others. One sport on our film may bring half of the returns of another, yet be important yet to be profitable. We overlook no freight that space, but we know what preparation of our work ads should. The headline attract any certain class. For this same reason, we employ a visit majority of ads. We are using 20 magazines, we use 20 spread ads. The visit columns overlap because is considerable pregnancy of the people attracted by each of several forms of the appeals. We was to read them all. On a spot, we enter the headlines keep clean might attract a very small percentage. It's too comfortable, so might be headline. No animal facts, many people not care much about that. The headline its facts might be proved interesting, but it is the headline referring to beauty of communication might attract many times as many. As automobile ad might be refers the headline to a good universal giant. It might fail flat because so few buyers think to universal giants. The some ad with headline the speaks the sport broadest might output the other 50 to on. This year to suggest the importance of headlines. Anyone who keys ads will be amazed at the difference. The apples we like best will reply prove the best. Because we do not know your people to average their desires, so we learn is line by experiment. But back we all fix principles you are presenting to add to millions. Among them is a persistence. Small or large, warm you hope to interest. So after that persistence you try to strike the chord the respondents. If you are the advertising concerns men and children are not interested in. If you are advertising shares, you have to no use for non-smokers. Results would not attract women. Reviews will not interest men. Don't think that those millions will read your ads to find out your product interest. They will decide at a glance by your headline or your pictures. Address the people you say, the them and them only. Thanks for listening. Next chapter is chapter 6 Psychology.